Hey guys, it's Erin or Gimme Yarn 418, and I am here with Thank God It's Finished. Fingers crossed really hard that my dogs cooperate for this video. Kristen had to go out for a work meeting today, and I needed to record this today. Nice hair. Because one of the things I'm bringing to someone tomorrow, so I needed to record it today, and some other things I need to get in the mail. I have so much to show you, so I'm just going to get right into it. Finished objects, bear with me, they're everywhere. The first one I have is this dress for my niece. It's the Madison dress. I got it on Craftsy. You may recognize this from my fabric that I showed you in my last video. Came out super cute. I made the 2T size. I am a little afraid it's going to be too small because it's too small for my 1 to 2 year old mannequin, but when I measured the chest it's the correct size, so here's hoping. Let me just cross these off because I'm going not in any order that I have it listed here. The next thing I finished, I don't know if I showed this already, I may have, was you saw I finished the sparkly blanket of awesomeness. And I immediately started another sparkly blanket. This is a baby blanket, just a granny square baby blanket. And here it is. I love how it came out. This is going to go on Etsy. I feel like I've shown this before. Let me look at my notes. Maybe I just showed it in progress. Yeah, I think I should. No. No, I didn't show it in progress. Doesn't look like. Anyway. So that's sparkly baby blanket of awesomeness. I'm calling it the SBB of A. Save that one for last. This is the unisex cardigan. It's a pay-for pattern on Ravelry. I would like to say this is a great pattern. I would say this is not a great pattern for a beginner, not because the pattern is flawed, but the layout is not user-friendly. It's written in big paragraphs, and it's a little bit confusing if you're not very careful. But the pattern is spot on correct, so worth the money. But I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner. And it has that those cable panels up the front. It's called the unisex, and I knit this out of Bernat Baby Sport in the purple marl. And I love it. It came out great. I think this is the 12-month size. Next, I finished the tumbling block socks, another pay-for pattern on Ravelry, and I knit this out of Nature Girl from Lollipop Yarn. The only thing I did different is I used a fish lips kiss heel because that's my preferred. The colors are a little bit off. Oh, that's a little better. Yeah, when it's closer, it catches up. And I love these. These are for myself. I finished some of my favorite projects. Iced coffee covers for an order. These need to go in the mail today. I'm glad those are done. Do you ever make something so much that you just never ever want to make it again? That's kind of how I feel about those. And not the last thing, I also finished my new design that I released the other day. I haven't trimmed my ends. It's called the Perk Me Up Cowl. And I'm going to show it, but I'll talk a little bit more about this in a few minutes. I knit this out of Hiawassee Creek Dye Works in the pecan color. And I really do love it. So I'll talk about that again in just a few minutes. And then I made some bags, and these bags will be going up tomorrow. And there may be a few other ones. All outstanding bag orders, with the exception of the YouTube bags, will be in the mail by the end of the day today. The YouTube bags will be going in the mail on Monday. So I have one more Monster Wedge bag. This is what I'm calling the large zippy poor girl. I finally got my sizes down in sheep fabric. This is a premium print because it's one of the prints that, like, they're custom print for you. This is the medium zippy. This is another premium because it's a custom fabric. This is just a regular medium. These are one-offs as I was continuing in my quest to get the right size. I have 2 of these, and this is my fabric, the Craft More Spend Less fabric, and it's lined, of course. All my bags are lined, and it has fusible fleece inside. And this is the plus size zippy, poor girl. This one I am contemplating keeping for myself, but probably won't. I don't need any more bags. I do need more bags because I want them. So this is this one. This is the print that Pam scooped up last week. And I love this fabric because it's so unique. I love sheep fabrics, you know that. And then I have 3 new bags. I have to iron these. But I have one Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's just because I haven't ironed it yet. Well, I've ironed it, but I haven't ironed the finished bag. I put them together one way, and then I iron them another way. So there's that. Jack dressed up as Santa Claus, and Sally's down there, and I don't know what the other people are called. So there's that one. And then I have 2 other sheep bags. These are the same as the zippy bag. And these are just the large Poor Girl project bags. So I did want to say I'm not carrying the plus size drawstring bags in the Etsy shop anymore because they seem to stay around for a long time, but that doesn't mean that they won't be there, or when I'm accepting custom orders again that I wouldn't be inclined to make one. I'm perfectly happy to make one. I just have to get caught up on some other stuff before I can open myself up to custom orders. What am I working on? Not too much. I'm working on the Umaro. I shouldn't say I'm working on it. I haven't touched it. I'm working on 2 more pairs of socks, which you have seen, both of them. The first one is this opal yarn, the watermelon, sweet and spicy too. I've got this much done of the second sock, and here is my first sock. Just a plain vanilla sock, fish lips, kiss heel. My dogs are staying outside. They need to realize that I'm making, well, the big dogs, I'm making a video. I just fenced in all the yard for them. My other work in progress is out of, I don't have the label. I've lost the label. Just the teeny tiniest beginning of a cuff. This is also opal that was gifted to me by Sarah Hepworth. And here is the first sock. So I'm loving knitting socks. It's my first love. I love knitting socks. So I have more socks planned. And the last thing I'm working on is when I was working on those coffee covers, I discovered I had huge bags of teeny tiny pieces of cotton yarn, not teeny tiny, but smaller pieces of cotton yarn. So I'm working on some of my dish scrubbies. I call them monster dish scrubbies, although none of these look monstrous. Generally, when one ball ends, I just tie on another one. And they need to be replaced in my kitchen anyway, so, and those are fast. I can get one of those done in I don't know, with my dogs an hour. Sometimes less, sometimes more. So that's my whips. I do have some things I need to work on. This weekend I need to start one of those African flower animals, the owl. I need to have it done by Tuesday. So fingers crossed on that one. I need to knit, and I'm going to knit an apple pie hat, which I showed a couple weeks back. It was the yellow hat, the golden yellow hat that I knit. It's really a lot of fun. That's by Tin Can Knits. It's a pay-for pattern. And then I want to knit some more baby sweaters. We have some babies coming in, not our immediate life, but into our life. So, and then I have some new things, which I just realized one of the things is not on here. I keep notes so that when I say, I think I've shown this before, I can look back, but, The first thing is I got some yarn from Pam, the Yarny Nana. I think she said she's changed her yarn name to Yarny Nana's Nifty Yarn. The first one I got is Classic U. This is a fingering weight, 75% wool, 25% nylon. Colorway. It doesn't say a colorway. And it's this. This reminds me of some reason for Scooby-Doo. Colors are a little bit washed out because I can't have the door open right now. Sorry. And the other one I got is U-Rock, which is 100% merino. Oh, so soft. 100 grams, 220 yards, worsted weight. This is Fruit Punch. And I'm going to knit a hat with this, I believe. Probably 2 hats. Maybe a big hat and a little hat. So I love those. And there was a little surprise in there when Pam and Kathy went to Webb's. They picked up a button for my button monster. And it's about frogging. It's really cute. I didn't bring that over, though. The next thing I got is some slipper soles. There's an LYS going out of business, and these were 40% off, and they're very pricey because they're suede. So I picked up a pair in my size and a pair in Kristen's size, which also happens to be my sister's size. And I've been saying forever I'm going to knit her a pair of slippers, and I haven't. Bad Erin. After seeing Margaret's review of the Carbons needles, I ordered myself a pair. And I am using Carbons on one of my pairs of socks, and I didn't like them at first. And then as I knit with them some more, I became madly in love with them. So I decided to start with this middle set because it's the sizes that I use most often, and they are compatible with all the needles I already have. So excited about those. And some James C. Brett Marble Chunky came into my life. After I finished the Umaro Someday, which is quickly becoming the sparkling blanket of awesomeness, which it really isn't because I love it so much more. I love the pattern. I just have to pay really close attention. So after I finish that, I want to knit a 10-stitch baby blanket. And I had 1 skein of this, so now I have 2 more, so 3 will make a good size baby blanket. And this is color MC23. And I also have 3 skeins of MC33. This would be a good color for something for my in-laws for Christmas. So there's that. My bag is getting full. My basket, anyway. And then I got a awesome package from Margaret Olander. And I have to show you the card because it made me smile. And really sweet note inside. She sent me some sheets that were never used, which I use to back my quilts because I'm not a quilter. So I was excited about those. And then this was actually for my birthday. She sent this Jane's Crazy Mixed Up Seasonings. It's mixed up pepper, marinade, and seasoning. And Kristen said she's actually heard of this. And Margaret told us something that we could do with it. And she had cooked something with it recently. So we're excited to try that. The dogs are saying, "Let me in." Oh, and then this is pretty awesome. I'm already using it. A Batman sippy cup. A grown-up sippy cup. How cool is that? Someone has gas. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't like to talk about stuff like that, but oh my god, I just almost passed out. She also sent this adorable chocolate sheep. It's made in Belgium. Which I don't want to eat because it's so cute. But if I don't eat it, it'll melt. So I think it's going to live with me for a little while. and we'll decide what to do with it. But he's cute. Isn't it cute? Oops. Cute, cute. First day of recording, apparently. And she sent me some fabrics. Oh, I didn't even notice this fabric on the back. It's a fat quarter bundle. Ooh. And now that I saw this dog on the back, I have to take it out. There's some polka dot contrasts, which are really cute. Look at that little chihuahua. So adorable. I'll show you the whole thing. Oh, it's so cute. This will be a bag for myself. I won't be sharing this one because it was a gift. So, that's my new stuff. So thank you, Margaret. Cody Knits sent me a message that I needed to check my mail today, and I have no car, and I have 4 dogs, so I'm hoping that Kristen gets home in time for me to check the mail, because otherwise I'll have to wait until Monday, because, why? Because, oh, tomorrow I have to leave the house at 7 to meet, I'm going to see my sister and my niece, so I have to leave pretty early to do that. So, last but not least, let's talk about the Perk Me Up cowl. This is me putting my toes into the pond of designing. I've already started another design. This one is for a hat, but this one is pretty special to me. I named it Perk Me Up because, as most of you know, Kristen was diagnosed almost 2 years ago with multiple sclerosis, and it's been challenging. It's been challenging, and it's been a great thing all at the same time, and I say that because Kristen had some things going on for a few years that we couldn't explain, we didn't understand, and we would go to the doctors, and it would be like beating our head into the wall because nobody really would listen. And Kristen was diagnosed during a routine eye doctor's appointment. I was sitting in the lobby, and the eye doctor came back and said, "Can you come back here?" And he said, "You might want to sit down." And Kristen was in the examination chair, and she looked pretty upset. And he said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm pretty sure that Kristen has MS." And I was stunned. It's not something that you go into an eye doctor's appointment expecting to hear. And we were immediately sent to the hospital for some further tests, and yeah, so she was diagnosed with MS. And the reason I say it was a blessing is because Kristen, every so often, especially when she got stressed or there was a dramatic change in temperature, and even sometimes for no reason, would go almost completely blind in one eye. She said it felt like she was looking at the world through steel wool. She said it felt that way on her eyeball, and it looked like that. She could just see splotches of things. And the other thing is that she has temporary almost paralysis on one side of her body that comes on generally relatively slowly and can last anywhere from a couple hours to a couple weeks. And there's no, that we've found out so far, that we've worked through, there's no real rhyme or reason to why it happens. So when Kristen was diagnosed, I think I was more upset than she was. And I was angry. I was really angry because there had been a few occasions that we were at the primary care doctor that I actually said, they were testing her for Lyme and for, what's the other thing lupus. And I said, could this be MS? And no, this can't be MS. This is, and they would say things like they would refer her to a therapist. And, it wasn't psychological. So I was pretty angry, and I was pretty scared when she was first diagnosed, and Kristen was like the pillar of strength, and it wasn't until several weeks later that she kind of broke down and came to terms with the fact that she had MS, and she got angry and she got sad, and the why is this happening to me, and kind of just worked through that. And since then, Kristen has had her ups and downs in the disease, and she's a really strong person, a really, really strong person, and I will have to say that MS is a disease that affects the entire family. It's very difficult for me to see Kristen in pain and not help and not fix it. I'm a fixer. And for me to take a step back and say, if you need help, ask me. If you need help, tell me. And not take away her freedom. Or not her freedom, her independence. And that I'm getting off on a tangent, but it's hard. And when it's hard for me, it's easy. She perks me up. She lifts me up. She tells me this is temporary. And when it's hard for Kristen and she sees, especially in a long episode, she feels like she's never going to come out of it, I can kind of perk her up and point out to her that there is an end and that we will get through this and things will get better. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in medicine, and there could, in our lifetime, be a cure or a treatment that is better than the options that are out there right now. So, all in all, that's why I called this Perk Me Up, and the chevrons in my glass half full view are pointing up, to help lift you up, pick you up, perk you up. That and the brown color I thought was fitting because Perk Me Up could also be attributed to coffee because you perk me. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's why I named it Perk Me Up. It is a pay-for pattern on Ravelry. It's $2.50, and at least through the summer. All the proceeds after my Ravelry and PayPal fees, we are going to be donating to a MS charity. I am in the process of researching a few charities. As you know from when we donated our hair, I want to make sure that the money is going to, well, as much as I can, make sure that the money is going to go towards what we want it to go towards, be that research, treatment, assistance for people who can't afford the things that you need. I mean, as MS progresses, there's a likelihood that you will be using a walker and or a wheelchair, some to all of the time. So we just want to make sure, I'm going to present it to a couple to Kristen and have her see what she thinks, and then at the end of the summer we will donate all the proceeds from the cowl to that. A lot of you have already purchased the cowl, and I really appreciate it. I haven't had an opportunity until now to come on and talk a little bit about that, and I hope I haven't blathered on too much and bored you. Yeah, so thankfully Kristen is at a point now that she is doing well. She's able to drive. There are times that she's not physically able to drive because of her vision, and there will be more, and so, there's also sometimes she can't drive because of the spasticity that the MS causes in the muscles. So she's doing well now. We've used up our physical therapy visits for the year for her, but we are looking into other options to continue that because it's very expensive, very, very expensive. But she's doing really great. I'm praying for another cool summer because the heat is a huge trigger for Kristen's MS for episodes. So keep your fingers crossed. And if you feel like it or want to, the Perk Me Up cowl is available on Ravelry. I should add it to my Etsy store too. I'll do that. I've never sold the pattern on Etsy, but just in case somebody's not on Ravelry. I think that is all I have for today. It's quite a bit. Thank you for bearing with me for 30 minutes almost. And I'm going to let you go. I did want to let you know one last thing. I'm going to be putting out a video. I've been asked several times about how I price things for sale on Etsy. And I'm going to do a video kind of on the real cost of selling on Etsy and how much the real cost of selling on Etsy, just as information for the people who have asked me, and then you can make your decision as to what you want to do to set your prices. It's all really a personal choice, so, and it depends on what your end goal is. So, okay, now I'm really done. 25 minutes and 54, 5, 6. Okay, I hope you all have a great weekend. Bags will be going up in the shop tomorrow, and I will talk to you all soon. All right, bye-bye.